So why is it that I want to be unhappy?
We don't realize the world that's available to us until we stop the addictive pattern, the behavior that keeps taking our focus and tying it to the physical plane. You're noticing someone's wearing something that pisses you off. They're saying something that pisses you off. They're looking at you in a way that pisses you off. And you just keep tying yourself to that plane. You're not letting yourself see that everybody's a spirit just like you, wearing these funky clothes, trying to fit in. You're seeing them as competition. You're seeing them as in your way. You're seeing them as in your face. You're not seeing them as people in the same human struggle that you're in. And as long as you keep tying yourself to the physical plane, you're going to see everything that's wrong with them because you're there too. And it's seeing the beauty in other people that gives you peace of mind. And seeing the physical looks and the stupid shoes is everything that separates you from them. And as long as you see what separates you from them, you're going to be pissed off forever. What's true about the illusion of the physical form? I don't understand.
But this is real.
It's Maya. It's the illusion.
My body is real. What do you mean?
A bunch of electromagnetic energy made up to look like a shirt and a flesh and eyeballs. And when you see through that and you start looking at people in a spiritual form, you realize you're not alone. And when you don't feel alone, you don't feel so damn miserable all the time. The spiritual plane and the physical plane are operating always at the same time. It's all operating together. So when you join with someone physically, you join in with them spiritually. So I'm going to try to make you a potion that just helps your perspective out a little bit. Mama can it up away. Cleanse his spirit. Let him see. Let him see. Let him see.
Okay.
This is your potion oil. You're going to use this to focus. You're going to use this to get to your highest level of consciousness.
It smells really good.
Let's work a little faster.
This universe is just a speck of dust in the eye of God.
Each of us have it's like a direct radio link to higher wisdom.
There's one power, there's one presence, there's one life, there's one God.
Everything is energy.
How to serve Mass, and you were very squirmy. I remember that.
What do you think about this live in the now thing? You ever hear that?
No, I haven't, but I think it's a good idea. You know, yesterday is history, and tomorrow's mystery. So all we have is today. You know, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So, as the old Latin say, carpe diem, seize the day.
Most people spend the first half of their life saying, I'm too young for that stuff. And the second half of their life saying, I'm too old for that stuff. People don't fail because they want to fail. People fail because they don't know how to succeed. And as Napoleon said, those who fail to plan can plan to fail. We've got to come up with a plan, people. We've got to come up with a plan, because you're not just going to wake up one morning, look in the mirror and say, there you are, best version of myself. Where have you been? I've been waiting for you to show up. We've got to come up with a plan. And how do we do that? We've got to get into the classroom of silence. We need silence. You're not going to discover the best version of yourself out there in that crazy, noisy, busy world where we wake up to clock radios and listen to the radio while we shower, watch television while we eat breakfast, listen to the radio in the car on the way to work, listen to the radio all day over the intercom network, make phone calls, get put on hold, listen to the radio. We got Walkmans and Discmans. We got DVD demons. We got cell phones, pages, internet, CDs, TVs, DVDs, iPods. We got so much noise we can't even hear our own thoughts. And you're not going to find the best version of yourself out there in all that noise. Only when you're willing to withdraw from that noise and step into the classroom of silence will you discover the best version of yourself.
You may call it love, you may call it compassion, you may call it bodhicitta, whatever you may call it. Literally speaking, that basic goodness, try to recognize that. Recognizing that alone is not going to work. Nurture it. After nurturing it, then widen its horizon.
I don't think happiness is a feeling. I think happiness is a state of mind. It's having an awareness that there is a supreme being, a God, that is in control of everything, and that somehow that higher power has an affection for you and for me and for everybody, and is in the process of creating good out of all things. I believe that Jesus wants us to experience the relationship with other people. I think he wants us to enjoy this creation that he made for us. He created this spaceship. That's what it is. It's a spaceship. And we are stuck on this spaceship. God created it. He designed it. He put us here. He put us here for a reason. I know that. He put us here to experience the spiritual realities of faith, hope, and love, and to share that with as many people as we can. And how we do that will depend upon the specific task that he has given to us as the individuals and the reason he made us.
How do you know that you've accepted Jesus? How do you know that you're going to heaven? How can you be sure?
Well, you can be sure if you've confessed Jesus as your Lord.
You're saying that you could have salvation in a moment, in an instant. That's all it takes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
No matter what you've done up to this point.
Correct.
All it takes is 1 second. Bam.
Correct.
You're in heaven.
Yeah.
When people ask me, am I religious? The answer is, of course not. I'm just a Jew. And I'm a surfer. And I just believe in God. Everything else, there's a certain preface to where you want to go in life. And surfing develops in a person a lot of inner discipline and determination to not give up. Because a real surfer has got to be able to take his lumps, wait out those long periods of no waves, and be able to do it with tremendous discipline and not lose interest. Part of a religious quest is to keep that focus. For a lot of people, it's difficult because they don't have the inner discipline to do it. Not because they don't want to. They don't have the desire that can keep that fire burning day after day. for people to maintain that high level of interest in anything. It's not just religion. Whether you're an actor, whether you're an artist, it's very, very difficult to do. Surfing is something that keeps you absolutely focused. When I'm not surfing, I'm getting in shape, getting ready for the next swell. It doesn't matter what religion it is. It doesn't matter what you're pursuing in life. The whole issue is to not lose focus. But the basis has to be the attitude and the perseverance, the ability to wake up every morning and just plug away as though nothing in the world was mattering except your own pursuit after that religious experience. Surfing, after a while, you're going so fast, and there's so much energy and power. It's an outer body experience, in a way. And that's the religious experience in a nutshell.
So there's this story in the Western monastic tradition, which is also a story that the Buddhists have, where these two monks are walking along, and then they come to a river, and the river needs to be crossed. And then there's a woman that appears at the same place at the same time and says, "Can you help me across?" So one of the monks picks her up and goes through the river and puts her down, and the monks continue walking. And about a mile later, the monk that didn't pick up the woman says, "Brother, I was so surprised you touched that woman." And the one who picked her up and put her across the river said, "But brother, I put her down a mile ago and you're still carrying her with you." So it's natural for us to be attracted to another person, to have the desire for family or the desire for intimacy. And in some senses, monks are about intimacy too, but they're about intimacy with God. They see this as the interpenetration of God with the soul. Praise the God Almighty, to His Son Jesus Christ the Lord, to the Spirit who dwells in our hearts, both now and forevermore.
To a potential monk, I mean, what do you tell them are the advantages?
Well, obviously the advantage is that you find a life where you find meaning. That's the main advantage, I think, don't you?
Well, is the pay good?
Of course, there's no pay, but the retirement benefits are out of this world.
Can you get out?
You mean like leave?
Well, I mean, maybe take a year off, like a sabbatical, and not be a monk for a year and then come back.
Well, it depends what you mean by not be a monk. You know, we've sent people off to study for a year, but they're still a monk. So you mean by, like, just sort of suspend your vows for a year?
Yeah, I want to follow the rules for a year.
You take a leave of absence from this life if you need to and want to, but then you have to be honest what you really want to do. And
that you didn't call God God, you called God love, beauty. But I did notice in the service tonight that you do use the word God now. So when, after your transformation, did you become friendly with the word God?
When I say the word God, I'm speaking about life. I'm